Well, good afternoon, everyone. So I plan on doing a video today. It's Wednesday right now. Planned on doing a video. This wasn't really the video that I planned on doing, but so be it. Our Bayliner VR4 here, I'm just finished fairing up there. Maybe I'll give you a quick little go around there after we're done this, but I just want to do a quick video here about snap repair. And we're not going to be the best angle here right now. I got my bass boat in here and then this one still, so I'm a little tight on the room. So along with our back corners that we're working on, they'd asked me to look at some snaps and whatever that were loose or pulling out on the customer. So I want to show you the proper way of doing it and the improper way of doing it. So, and the reason this has come up is because I'm going through everything here and getting prepped to do it, and then I realized that they were already tried to, or the repairs were already kind of made half, I guess, so improperly. So anyways, let me grab the camera and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is mainly what I'm talking about here. So I pulled out the current snap that's in there, and this is what I found. So the gel coat is, and the fiberglass in behind is all pulled away and whatever from water getting into the cover and pulling on the snap. Pretty common issue. This is a piece of dowel, and that's halfway right. So there was a piece of dowel put in there, and the snap was screwed back in. The problem is, and let me see if I can grab this here, is I can pull that out by hand. And yeah, so really that should have been epoxied in there. And so this kind of leads me to this video here today, where I'm going to show you how to properly repair a snap on your boat so that you don't have to worry about it coming back out again. So I'll reposition and we'll get to it. Okay, so this might give us a little bit better camera angle, I don't know. We'll see. So anyways, what you have to do here basically is you got to make it worse before you can make it better. So this has already been repaired once before, and the hole's kind of oblong. So typically, give me 1 second, I'll tell you what I normally use here. I forget. Okay, I'm back. I thought it was 1/4 inch, but I wanted to make sure. So typically I use 1/4 inch dowel, and this is nothing fancy. This you can get at a craft store, you can get it off Amazon, Walmart, what have you. It's just basic. What do they even call it here? It's a craft wood turning dowel, basically. Hardware store, whoever. Again, don't have to go fancy with this. This is gonna be caked up in epoxy, so I mean, it's a natural thing basically on boats for snaps to fail. And if there is one thing that you want to do for yourself on your boat that's going to save you some cost, and that's, you know, going to help prevent water from busting more snaps, is if you can repair a snap once it's broken, the better off your cover is going to be, and you're going to be probably happier down the road. The last thing you want to do is come up to your boat and the covers pulled all the snaps out because it started pooling water and just started, you know, adding up and creating weight and, you know, pulling your cover off. Anyways, enough jibber jabber. 1/4 inch dowel, that's typically what I use. If I drill that out a 1/4 inch right now, I'm gonna have areas where it's not gonna touch the fiberglass. So I gotta go the next size up. So next size up for me is gonna be 3/8 inch. And you know, there's 1/2 inch too. So 1/2 inch, we're getting extreme. 3/8 inch, this fix will still work basically. And we're gonna epoxy the snap back in then too after the initial cure of this. And that's gonna create a super strong bond. Technically, you shouldn't have to worry about that one again, you know, be concerned about all the other ones. So 3/8 is where we're gonna come in here right now. That's gonna give me a nice little fit. So 3/8 dowel, 3/8 drill bit, safety glasses. Should you wear a respirator for this? You're drilling fiberglass? The answer is yes. The fact I'm just doing a quick little blurt, and for the sake of the camera, I'm not gonna wear one. All right, so that's that. We made the hole bigger. Now we just want to confirm that our dowel is going to fit in there. It's going to be good and snug. I am not going to clean up any burrs or anything like that because I'm hoping that that's going to help this adhere into the hull basically. And I mean, to be fair, I want to point out too, I'm not pointing fingers at whoever tried to do this or whatever else. I know the situation. I don't need to tell you guys the situation. But in all fairness, we're dealing with like 1/8 of an inch of fiberglass, all right? And when you're dealing with 1/8 of an inch of fiberglass, and bear with me here, and then you have, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch worth of thread. And I mean, look at that. It's hard to see here, but that's not a lot of thread. And that's not a lot of material. So as far as I'm concerned, the manufacturer is asking for problems. As far as they're concerned, it worked when it left the factory. And again, I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not calling anybody out on, you know, their work or anything, or anything like that. But you know, what you got to put everything into perspective. Basically, that's what I'm trying to do, is put it into perspective for you. So it's good. You're gonna have failures. Snaps fail on boats. You know, either you need to know how to fix them, or you got to take them to a shop that's going to be able to fix them for you properly, not just jam a piece of wood in there, call it a day, and walk away from it, and you have the same problem next time that you get water in your cover. So, anyways, I got one more on the other side that's prepped with 1/4 inch. I got this one now, it's prepped. So that being said, I think I said I got 17 or something like that to fix. What am I going to use? I'm going to use epoxy. That's 100% guaranteed. I'm going to use our G-Flex. And again, because this does come under stress, the G-Flex is going to allow that little bit of movement. And, you know, to the naked eye, basically, it's not going to be able to move like that. But it's going to allow it to flex just that little bit, and you need that on a snap because you're constantly loading and unloading. And, you know, you're always pulling on it too. So you need to have some sort of strength in there. So we're going to mix up a small batch of G-Flex, and ideally we're just going to wet up the dowel. We're going to stick it in there until we hit bottom. We're going to take a pair of snips. We're going to cut them off. Going to let it cure. The ones like these here, where they were just loose and there's still material there, I rather leave well enough alone, but make them a little bit more secure. We're just going to apply G-Flex to them. We're going to put them in. We're going to tighten them down, wipe up any excess, and call it a day. So that being said, we're going to get to it. We're going to have to come back after, re-drill our dowel, obviously, on this one and the other one, with the according drill size, obviously. And then we're going to G-Flex up our snap. We're going to sink that back in there and be done. That won't happen until the G-Flex cures, so that'll be tomorrow. But anyways, let's get to it. I'll show you quickly how to do that, and that's it for the day. All right, so for the sake of ease, I mixed up our G-Flex off camera. There's a video out there about me with the Yamaha Wave Runner hull mixing up our G-Flex. I think it's probably maybe the second video that I put out. And, you know, if you're looking for information on the G-Flex, that's where it is. You can always go on West Systems website and read about the G-Flex to Google it, and it'll give you all the info that you need. There's no point in repetition, you know, unless you really need me or need to see me mixing it up, but I highly doubt that. So anyways, I got that all prepped, and then I went ahead and you can't see that, but there. I went ahead and I cut our piece of dowel in there, and all I did was I stuck it in the hole, marked it with a pencil, took it over to the bench, hacksaw, and got my piece. So There is a tower on this, as you can see, so there's wood back here that's going to back it. So what I want to do for sure is get all the way back there, and I'm going to epoxy that up, obviously, so that it's going to bond to that then as well. Because inside of this, like I say, there's, I mean, if there's an eighth of an inch of fiberglass, I'd be surprised. There's not a lot there at all. So I want some sort of structure, and that's going to give us our maximum structure, basically. I mean, outside of doing this, the only way to really do this would be to turn this 3/8 hole into, I don't know, a repair about that size, and re-gel coat it and everything else, and lay up fiberglass. And I mean, let's not do that if we don't have to. So anyways, here I go. Just gotta goober this up basically and try to keep it off my hands as much as possible. And you see me wearing gloves, and that's for a justified reason. Now, as much as we want to, you know, have a good bond here and everything else, you have to stay conscious that you don't want to get this all over the fiberglass, because then you gotta clean that mess up. So there we go. One and done. And at this point, I'm just going to push that G-flex in there basically, and wipe up the excess at the same time. So there we go, we're in there. And now we just walk away basically. That's all you can do at this point, and this will be like a 2-day repair basically if you're doing this yourself. The epoxy's got to cure, I think it's 17 hours to get a full cure on it. So, you know, that'll be tomorrow morning-ish basically. But you can't touch this until, you know, until it's cured. So it is what it is. We're going to move on here though, and I'm just going to show you a couple up here basically on how I'm going to do these. And again, you're just going to take your screw head snap end here basically, and you're not going to use a lot here. You're just going to do enough to coat the threads, and enough that's going to come up and make a bit of a bond, because you don't want it to ooze out onto the fiberglass essentially. So I just got to grab my screwdriver here. And you're just going to put that back in the hole and go to your tight. One thing I want to point out is whenever you're deciding which ones you're going to do like this, is make sure that you can tighten them up. So actually go through, I mean, you don't want to force on them, right? You just want to go snug, and very light fingers basically for this. So you're going to go through the entire boat basically if you want, and you're just going to go till it's tight. And if they tighten up for you, but you're having issues with them walking out with vibration or whatever else, that's all you do, is mark which ones you have to come back to. I just use a piece of masking tape, and you know, that's tightened up. When that cures, when I come back tomorrow, there is no way in hell that's coming out of there unless, I don't know, you put a 60-pound kid up there on the cover and start bouncing on it, or you have a swimming pool inside your cover because you didn't put up your support poles. It's not guaranteed for, you know, all disasters, but under normal wear and tear, it'll work for you. And so while I'm here, I'm going to do one more up here, and I'm going to continue on with the rest. And that's it. So I'm going to keep going through here, guys. There's no point in me showing you all this. Again, make sure that you can tighten these before you just do the G-Flex only repair. If you can't tighten them, if they're stripped out, or you can actually pull the whole thing out, you're gonna have to do a similar repair to this. I don't think I can show you on the other side. I just don't think I have enough room to set up the camera. So on that note, I'm just gonna give you a quick little show about how our repairs are going here on the back, and then we're done. So here we are on the back port side corner, and that's all faired and done. This is ready for primer on this side. This side was pretty straightforward, and if you remember correctly, that was all spider cracked and everything in there. So that's all good. Let's hop over to starboard. So here we are on the starboard side. I'm on my third coat here right now of our total boat fairing compound, total fair, and basically all I had to do here, where's my finger, there we go. I just had I had a little low spot here, I had a pinhole here, and a couple little pinholes up here on the inside, and they're all looked after. But we're all faired in basically. We got our lines where we need them. Everything's profiled the way it needs to be. See if I can give you a different angle here. So tomorrow morning when I come back in, it's just gonna be a quick sand down basically, and we're gonna be ready for primer. So this is coming along good. I had some unexpected things come up here beginning of the week, as always happens, right? So anyways, that's why this project's taking a little bit longer than I wanted it to. And I think with that being said, we're gonna call it a video there. So this is gonna be another little short one for you with some info here about some snap repair basically. And again, on the other side, it's gonna be the same process of what I did here, except we're only gonna use 1/4" dowel. The smallest that you can get away with, the better. Once your holes start getting bigger, I mean, if that pulls out again, you know, we're into doing a complete glass repair essentially. But I think the most important point I want to point out here is that this repair was partially done correctly. A piece of dowel was used. However, there was no epoxy or anything in there. Don't have to use epoxy. Sometimes you can come in here with like a high tensile strength polyester based marine filler, and that'll work just as well. And I was almost kind of contemplating that as I was getting the G-Flex ready here, but this is going to work just as well basically. If I do have a problem with this for whatever reason, if I go to drill it out and it doesn't have enough of a bond, then I'll probably look at doing the polyester filler idea. But I don't think I'm going to have an issue with this. As long as it tacks up onto that back piece of wood there, it should be solid. So I think that's everything. So that being said, again, thanks for watching. Please do hit the subscribe button. We're trying to build the channel. Thanks to all the new subscribers out there. Over the past few days there, we've had quite a few new ones. Thumbs up, really appreciate it. Again, please share these videos with everyone that you know, if you think they might be interested in it. I understand that this isn't everybody's cup of tea, but if you know of anybody that might be interested, by all means, please share, and I really appreciate that in advance. So if I have a chance, I'm going to come back. I'll do another video here this afternoon, but that probably won't get posted tonight, so we'll see. So it's been long enough. I'm going to stop jibber jabbering again, and again, thanks for watching everyone, and take care, and we'll see you on the next one.